Discipline over motivation. 6 practical tips to stay consistent. Motivation is fleeting. One day, it propels you to wake up early, run that extra mile, or finally start a project you've been avoiding. The next day, it vanishes. It doesn't take much. An unexpected delay, a bad night's sleep, or a minor setback. And suddenly the fire that pushed you forward yesterday is gone. That's why relying solely on motivation is a trap. Motivation is unpredictable, fragile, and external. Discipline, on the other hand, is internal, structured, and resilient. It does not depend on how you feel in the moment. Discipline is what keeps you consistent when motivation disappears. And consistency is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who watch opportunities slip by. Tip 1. Create small, repeatable routines. Discipline is built not in grand gestures, but in daily actions repeated over time. One of the most common mistakes people make is aiming for massive, unsustainable changes all at once. They wake up thinking, today I will read 100 pages, run 10 kilometers, and completely overhaul my diet. Rarely does that happen, and when it doesn't, motivation dies, and discipline seems impossible. The alternative is micro-routines. Start small. Even committing to 10 minutes of reading daily, 5 push-ups every morning, or writing 1 paragraph a day builds the neural pathways that eventually make consistency automatic. Over 30 days, those small habits compound into visible results, teaching the mind that progress does not depend on energy, mood, or motivation, it depends on action. The trick is to make the routine simple enough to start every single day, regardless of circumstances, but meaningful enough that it contributes to long-term goals. Tip 2. Remove friction. Discipline thrives when barriers are minimized. Every time a task feels inconvenient, the odds of skipping it increase. If the goal is morning exercise, lay out workout clothes the night before, prep water bottles, and ensure shoes are easily accessible. If writing is the goal, keep a notebook and pen where you spend the most time, or open your laptop as part of a pre-scheduled routine. Small logistical adjustments prevent excuses from creeping in and reduce reliance on fluctuating motivation. Discipline is not about willpower alone. It is about designing your environment so the right choice is easy, and the wrong choice requires effort. This principle applies to almost everything in life, from nutrition to productivity. Tip 3. Track progress obsessively. Humans respond powerfully to visible feedback. Discipline is reinforced when we see evidence of consistent action, even if results are not yet dramatic. Tracking does not require complex systems or expensive apps. A simple calendar where you mark off each completed task, a habit tracker on your phone, or even sticky notes on a wall creates accountability for yourself. Each mark becomes a small victory, a tangible reminder that you are following through. Over time, the accumulation of these micro-successes builds momentum. This approach also highlights patterns, allowing for adjustments. For instance, if you notice you consistently skip workouts on Thursdays, you can plan alternative times or strategies, reinforcing that discipline is adaptable, not rigid. Tip 4. Embrace structured flexibility. Many people mistakenly associate discipline with rigidity, but true discipline incorporates adaptability. Life is unpredictable. Illness, travel, or personal obligations can disrupt routines. Rather than abandoning habits altogether, disciplined individuals create backup plans. For example, if morning workouts are missed, can they be done in the evening? If journaling is skipped due to a busy schedule, can a quick reflection be done during lunch? Flexibility does not weaken discipline, it reinforces it. The core principle is continuity. Missing a single instance is not failure, it is an opportunity to adjust and continue. Tip 5. Reframe discomfort as progress. Discipline often requires doing things we don't feel like doing. Early mornings, challenging workouts, or tackling difficult projects push us out of comfort zones. Motivation makes us feel like we need energy to start. Discipline teaches us that discomfort is not a signal to stop, but a signal to move forward. In practical terms, this could mean completing a 30-minute task when tired, or making a healthier meal choice when convenient options are tempting. Discomfort is often temporary, but the rewards compound. When repeated consistently, these small acts of perseverance create resilience and confidence, teaching the mind that success does not rely on feelings, but on commitment. Tip 6. Cultivate accountability and social reinforcement. Discipline can feel isolating, and one of the most effective ways to maintain it is by sharing your goals with others. This does not require a public announcement or external pressure. It can be as simple as telling a friend, joining a community with similar objectives, or tracking progress in a shared group. External accountability adds subtle pressure that reinforces internal commitment. Humans are social creatures. We respond strongly to expectation and observation. When others know about our commitments, we are more likely to follow through. This principle magnifies discipline without requiring additional willpower. It is the strategic use of social context to reinforce consistent action. Underlying all 6 tips is a principle often overlooked. Discipline is a skill, not a trait. People often assume disciplined individuals are born that way, but in reality, it is built progressively through repeated practice, reflection, and refinement. The brain responds to routine. Neural pathways strengthen with repeated action. Habits that feel difficult in the first week become easier by the second, and eventually automatic. Even failures play a role. Missing a day does not undo progress. It provides data. It identifies weaknesses, highlights friction points, and informs adjustments. Discipline grows through iteration, awareness, and patience. An important companion to discipline is clarity of purpose. Habits are easier to maintain when aligned with meaningful goals. Understanding why you commit to a task transforms it from a chore into a deliberate choice. Discipline without purpose becomes empty compliance. For instance, a morning run without a goal can feel monotonous, but a run tied to health, longevity, or competition gains intrinsic motivation. Even if fleeting motivation is low, the combination of purpose and habit creates a self-reinforcing loop. Clarity informs action, action reinforces purpose, and purpose sustains action even when motivation fades. Discipline over motivation is not a slogan, it is a practical strategy for life transformation. Motivation fluctuates, but discipline builds a foundation for consistent action, resilience, and achievement. By integrating small, repeatable routines, removing friction, tracking progress, embracing flexibility, reframing discomfort, leveraging accountability, and reinforcing all of these with purpose and reflection, anyone can cultivate habits that endure. Consistency is not an abstract concept. It is the product of intentional design, repetition, and self-awareness. If this deep dive into cultivating discipline over motivation inspired you, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more practical strategies to take control of your life. Share it with someone who wants to finally stay consistent with their goals. Leave a comment about which tip you will start implementing today. Discipline is not about temporary bursts of energy. It is about building a life where progress happens every single day, regardless of how you feel.